Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I'm bringing you guys a video all about what would the person on your mind say to you if they were being 100% honest about the truth of their feelings. Not, what they would tell you, like the story about like what they want you to know, but how they honestly truly feel about you if they were speaking to you from their highest self. So a majority of these readings do end up being about romantic relationships, but if you've come into this reading hoping to know how a parent feels about you, how a friend feels about you, or what they would say to you, it is possible that you could find those messages here in this reading. So just always take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But today I have 3 different readings for you to choose from. Pile 1 with the green opal, Pile 2 with the green aragonite, and Pile 3 with the angelite. So go ahead and pause, figure out which pile you feel most drawn to. I'll leave timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the green opal, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now, just getting straight into it, I think that this is somebody who you are in separation with. This is somebody that you haven't had contact with in a while, maybe you just cut off contact, but it definitely seems like the two of you are physically distanced apart. But nonetheless, it's like this person can feel your energy. It's almost like when someone is manifesting someone and they appear in your dreams, they appear in your thoughts. And I think that this person is feeling very frustrated. I mean, obviously you have the frustration card, but they're frustrated for a number of reasons. First of all, they're frustrated at you because there's this distance. They can't gain access to you anymore when they wish that they could. They feel like they're being ignored or there's no longer a way in. And they're frustrated because I think that there's things that they want to express to you. And there's still a lot that they feel for you, that they want to... Like, they're tired of no longer having access to it. It's like if you did a drug for a long time and then suddenly somebody like puts it away into a box and you can no longer have access to it, and now they want to like break that box open. They want to have access again. But another reason that they're frustrated is I feel like they wish that they could just get over you. They wish that you didn't have power over them and that they weren't constantly thinking about you. They wish that they could just like shut out the thoughts, stop dreaming of you, stop thinking of you. But something I want to tell you is these things go both ways. If this person was truly over you, if they truly had no more feelings, if they truly wanted to move on, they could, if they were, perfectly freed of the emotion. But there's a part of them that is still holding on to this connection. There's a part of them that's not ready to let go of you. And so a layer of that frustration isn't just frustration at you, but frustration at themselves, because it's like they're trapping themselves in this link where it's like they tell themselves that they want to be rid of you, they don't want to be thinking of you anymore, they don't want to feel this energetic connection, and yet it's like a drug that they don't want to let go of. So they're stuck in this sort of toxic cycle with themselves and with you. And with the intuition card, I think that this person is very psychically tuned in or very intuitive. Some of them might not even realize it. Others might actually work with their intuition consciously, but some of them might not even realize this is what they're doing, and they're just wondering, like, why am I thinking of them so strongly all the time? Why am I seeing them in my dreams? Why do I see signs of them everywhere? And with the Two of Cups reversed, it's like they're very frustrated at it. Like, they want to let go of this connection, but something is stopping it. And I also feel like this connection isn't quite done in like a bigger sense, not just between the two of you, but there is still something to be learned here. There is still some deeper reason, maybe from the universe or your guides or whatever, why the two of you are still in this kind of energetic contact. There's something that's not over here yet. And I think that this person is very frustrated because they wish it could be over, or they wish that they could be like around you and talk to you. It's like they wish it was one way or the other, but it's not. Instead, it's in this limbo where the two of you are apart, but they can still feel you. They still think of you. They still dream of you, and they can't get you off their mind. And that's what happens when you have some sort of energetic link with someone, some sort of psychic link. And that's what's going on here. And they're very much feeling it intuitively. They feel your energy almost as if you were in the room with them, or if like you were standing right next to them, even though maybe you're miles apart, or maybe you haven't seen each other in weeks or months or years. But there's a reason for this. It's because, no, I'm not going to label it as like a twin flame connection or a soulmate connection. Maybe you've heard that before, but I do think that this is some sort of karmic relationship. And what that means is there's still something to be learned. There's still something to be gained by both of you. There's still something to be done here. There's unfinished business, basically. And that's why there's still this link persisting. But even though there's still something to be done between the two of you, what's needed right now is space. And so it's like the link isn't severed because it still needs to be there, but at this time, you guys aren't meant to be around each other. And because of this, it's like this weird feeling where you're like tied to somebody and it's uncomfortable. I mean, that's why this person is so frustrated. They have all these different feelings and emotions and it can't just be stopped. But even if they wanted it to be stopped, there's a part of them that's still holding on to you. Whether they'll admit it to themselves or not, there's a part of them that doesn't want to let go. So that's kind of like the initial jumble of feelings that I get from this person. But another thing that I'm getting here is this separation between the two of you has caused this person to learn and grow a lot. I think that they're evolving a lot, and I don't think that it's with the intention that like, I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna change so that the two of us can come back together and be better. It's more like this separation is forcing them to look at things differently, forcing them to look at their behaviors differently, what they want out of life they're looking at, and they're growing and evolving, not just spiritually, but in a sort of like mental way. They're growing up a bit. I think the person that you knew was very immature. I get the sense that maybe this was a romantic relationship, though it doesn't necessarily need to be for all of you. But it's almost like you were with somebody who maybe they had a wandering eye, or maybe their priorities were elsewhere when it should have been towards you. Maybe they weren't as loyal as they should have been. Maybe they weren't as emotionally mature as they should have been. And because of this, they lost a good thing. And now they're like frustrated, they're mad that they didn't get their way, but at the same time frustrated at themselves. And they're going through this growth process, and growth hurts. Growth is uncomfortable, but they're being pushed down this path. And that's what I mean when I say like, the two of you are still learning from this. I'm sure that you're learning in your own ways. I mean, things go both ways. It's not meant to just be all about one person's lesson. These sort of karmic relationships benefit both people, whether you realize it or not. And right now, this person is growing and changing a lot. I mean, with the consciousness card, it's all about consciousness expanding, growing, evolving. So what they would tell you is, if they were being 100% honest, I think that they are sorry. And they're ashamed at the way that they behaved. This is them speaking from their highest self, if they could be 100% open and honest. Not the person you know today might not let go of their ego and tell you this, but if they were 100% honest, they're ashamed of the way that they behaved. They know that you deserved better than what they gave you. But at the same time, I think both of you weren't ready for what this relationship was. And I don't know your side of the story because I only see their cards here, but I think both of you made mistakes. And they say that not to put blame on you or take blame off of them, but so that, you guys can be face to face and say, you know what, we were both in the wrong. Them maybe more so than you. I think that they were a lot younger mentally. They were more emotionally immature. And they damaged a good thing. And I think they truly do care for you in a selfless kind of way. Not in what can they get out of you, but they just genuinely, a part of them genuinely cares about you, cares about how you're feeling, cares about your physical health, just in general. Like, they have care and love for you. But they also want you to know that they need this time and space to grow, not just for you and not just for this relationship to come back together eventually, but for themselves. And they are learning a lot from you and from the way things ended and the way things are now. And they're thankful to you and thankful for this relationship for allowing them this ability to grow and evolve. And as frustrating as it is, as painful as this growth process is, I think the person that they will be when they come out of this is going to be much more highly evolved, much more emotionally mature, and you are going to sense that. And there's a part of them that at the end of this, once they have finished growing and learning from this and they're in a better place, a higher vibrational place, they do want to speak to you. I don't know exactly yet in what capacity they'd like the relationship to be, if they want to have things be back together the way they were, or if they just want to talk to you to get closure and then go your separate ways. But nonetheless, there's just this message here that they would want to come back together and talk openly and say, like, I'm sorry. And also, but at the same time, I don't think the blame is fully on them. And I think there's growing to be done on both sides, where you two can come back together and both admit your faults, admit where you both went wrong, and get closure from each other that you need. So if that's something that you've been hoping for, some sort of reconnection where you can lay everything out on the table, I think that that is something that will happen. But it's going to take time. They're not done growing and evolving yet. There's still time that they need to take to change. I think who they were, they needed to unlearn a lot of behaviors, a lot of thoughts, because who they were was still very damaged by past things, or maybe hadn't had the opportunity to grow and face their inner demons yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were very under-evolved. And this breakup or this relationship ending and this solitude that they're in now is forcing them to examine their way of life, examine their way of thinking. And when they get to the end of it, they are going to be a much more evolved person, a much more mature person, a much more disciplined person, somebody that actually speaks and acts like an adult. And when you meet this person, like I said, I don't know how the relationship will continue to go, if you two will even want to come back together the way that you were before. But there is a desire to get closure here, to not just fully ghost and leave each other forever and leave things unsaid. There's a desire to be open and honest with you, talk about the way things ended, talk about how they feel, and basically just get closure here. But at their current point in time right now, they're not ready to even think about what closure means. I think there's still a lot of evolving to go. So if I could give you one message from them, it's give them the time and the grace to continue to learn so that they can turn into this person that is mature, so that the two of you can come together and get closure again. Because they've got a lot of learning and growing to go. And I don't know how long this is going to take. I mean, it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everyone. For some people, it might be a few weeks before they reach out or you reach out. Maybe it'll be a couple months. For others, maybe it's years. Maybe it'll be years and you'll start to forget about this person until one day they come back into your life and they're like, hey, can we talk? And you get that moment of closure that you didn't realize you've been needing. But like I said, it's different for everyone. The best message I could give to you, the viewer right now, is take your own time to maybe not focus so much on the past and this person and what they did wrong to you, and focus on what you can take away from this situation, how you want your relationships to be in the future, and let this be a tool to teach you, what did you like, what did you not like, what was good for you, what wasn't good for you. Focus on yourself, focus on bettering yourself, because I feel like a lot of your focus right now and energy is focused on who this person was and in what ways they wronged you. And it's kind of just allowing negativity to bleed into your life. And I feel like it's happening for them too. That's why they have this layer of frustration, is because they're almost fighting this growth process and they're not allowing themselves to be thankful or to accept the situation for what it is, which is hard to do. It's easier said than done. When somebody wrongs you, when things go wrong, you don't want to suddenly be like, I accept you, I forgive you, I love you. Because there's ego and there's also hurt feelings, But if you can reframe your own perspective for your own benefit, for your own peace of mind, to see what the brighter side of all this is, I think that will accelerate your own healing and your own growth a lot faster and allow you to maybe not forgive just yet, but at the very least find acceptance for the way that things are right now. So pile 1, that is everything that I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that this brought you clarity on this connection with this person. If you're looking for other readings like this, I have a ton more on my channel, so feel free to subscribe and stick around. But that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 2. If you chose the green aragonite, then this is going to be the reading for you. And I get like such a like heartbreaking energy from your person in this reading. I think that there's so much love and gratitude for you, but I can sense that there's going to be a powerlessness on your side because they're going through a lot that they have to go through alone. So I'll elaborate on this further, but I want to start by saying that I don't see specifically that this is a romantic relationship, though it definitely could be. It could be any kind of relationship. I think that this is a deep relationship in which the both of you really care for each other. It could be a new relationship. Maybe this is a new person in your life, but it could also be an old relationship. This could be a parent. This could be a different family member. This could be a friendship that you've had for a very long time. And what I mean by gratitude for you is, starting off with the peace card and the magic card, you are somebody that they feel at peace with. You are somebody that calms them, that makes them feel grounded. You're somebody that makes them feel loved and happy and content. But they're going through something very difficult right now. Something that just came to mind is maybe they lost a loved one. Another way that I could just kind of generalize it is maybe they're going through a very bad depressive episode. There is something heavily weighing on them, like a very deep sadness and hurt and pain. And I think you probably know what it is, or at the very least, if they haven't talked about it and it's not something you know about, you can sense that there's something wrong going on here. Maybe this person has been very off. Their energy is weird. They just seem very down. And if you've been trying to find a way to support them, just being there for them, I think just your presence alone is going to help them. But the only way that they can solve or accept what they're going through, they're going to have to go through it on their own. So with the peace card and the sun reversed, the sun reversed tells me that they're going through something heavy right now. They're very unhappy, just sad is the word that comes to mind. Just they're sad. And the reason I brought up losing a loved one is because there's that kind of like, there's nothing that can be done about it kind of energy. Like, it's done. The person is gone. There's no bringing that person back. And so if you're trying to look for solutions on how to solve this or how to make them get over it, there's no way to get over it. There's no way to pretend to be happy. There's no way to just focus on the positives. They're at a time right now where they just need to let themselves feel and go through and kind of ride this wave of grief or sadness for whatever they're going through. Eventually, there will be times where they can start to find ways to accept it. They can start to find ways to focus on more positive things and get themselves out of a rut, maybe focus on distractions. But if this is something that just happened recently, like if they just lost someone like a day ago, a week ago, or like a month ago even, you can't just start focusing on positives right now. You can't just distract yourself because that's just trying to cover up the bad feelings. It's like trying to cover up sewage with dirt. You need to clean out the sewage first, and the only way is by letting it flow. The only way is by letting this sadness run its course. And something that they would want you to know is, even though they're going through this, even though they can't be this happy, upbeat, positive person for you right now, just being in your presence or knowing that you're there makes them feel at peace. You can't take away the sadness, you can't make them feel happiness, but you can make them feel at peace. So at least they're not spiraling. You know, they have a shoulder to lean on. You're the strength when they can't find their own strength. And with the Magic card and the Page of Cups, you're somebody that, I don't even know how to put it into words because it's like a feeling. You're somebody that makes them feel that like childlike innocence and joy and carefreeness where no one else can. Like, it's almost like, oh my god, this is so weird. I feel like embarrassed bringing this up. So you know how like babies, like when you hold them, people will like brush between their eyebrows and their forehead, and it like calms them and soothes them and makes them fall asleep. Oh my god, I'm like getting embarrassed here. So my partner, when we cuddle, she will do that for me. She will like brush between my eyebrows, and like it makes me feel like a child again. It makes me feel like I'm cared for, like I'm comfortable and safe. It's like it activates that like primal like care feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, another example I can think of is like kittens that lost their mothers. People will imitate what it's like for them to be like licked by their mother by using like a wet toothbrush and like brushing their head. And when they do that, you see the kitten kind of like start to melt or like almost like regress into like kittenhood. Does that make sense? So that's the kind of feeling that you give them, is like a reminder of just pure being cared for, like a feeling that they haven't felt since they were a child. And especially if they're feeling this low, this sad, this depressed, this kind of pit, the fact that you're able to make them feel that kind of depth of being cared for is something that like I can't even put it into words. Like that's how deep of a feeling it is. Like it's the magic card. It's something that they can't get from anyone else. And that's why I said like they feel such gratitude for you. Like they feel this deep sense of like you're the only person in the world, one of the very few people in the world that can make them feel grounded and like not swept away by this grief and the sadness that they're going through. And like I said before with the final two cards, with the sadness and the hermit, this is something that they need to go through alone. The hermit is all about going on a journey alone. You're the only person that can get you out of it. It's like, imagine there's this pit or this crater that they've been cast in. There's no rope that you can give them to help them out. There's no, like, you can't build stairs for them. They are the one at the bottom of that pit, and they're the one that needs to put one foot in front of the other to walk out. But the things that you can give them are words of encouragement, positivity here and there to help them. But along the way, they are the only person that can go down this path themselves because no one understands them. Very few people, like, for example, if they lost a parent, maybe their siblings can understand, but even the siblings, they're still going through their own thing. This person needs to find their way back to themselves on their own. But through that, even though they have to find their way through alone, even though you can't help them the way that they need, you can still be there for them in the ways that you can be. Like I said, you help them find peace. You help them stay grounded. Even though it's not pulling them out of the pit, staying grounded helps a lot more than people saying like, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, or people like sending cards, or people saying fake things. Like just your presence, I think you're a very important person to this person. And like I said, with the magic card and the Page of Cups, you make them feel cared for. In like, something that just came to mind is maybe this person that they lost, if they lost someone. I'm not saying this applies to everyone. Maybe maybe your person is going through something that's not related to like the loss of a loved one. But something that came to mind, if that is your scenario, is you make them feel cared for in the way that the person they lost used to, which is insane. If they've lost someone, that person is completely gone. Finding any kind of reminder, a living reminder of the comfort and love that that person used to bring them. Like, no wonder they can't put into words how you make them feel. Like, it's like I said about the analogy, like cats that lose their mothers at a young age, or like, are taken away from their mothers, like to have that like fake toothbrush simulating their like mother's tongue or their mother's touch. You can't even put it into words, that kind of feeling. It's like a memory of something that's been lost. And especially if they lost someone, to like see that person in you, or to be able to feel that person's love from your love, I mean, it's powerful. It's so like insanely powerful. And what they would tell you if they were 100% honest, I think that they would say, a part of them is sorry that you've been dragged into this like gravitational pull of their sadness. If you want to be around somebody who's in this level of grief and sadness, it's impossible to not feel the sadness yourself. But they're also so thankful and grateful to you more than you'll ever know. It's like you're the anchor that holds them in place, like, and they're this boat in this hurricane, and you're the only thing keeping them from not drifting millions of miles away. But at the same time, there's like that level of guilt, like that shouldn't have to be your job. You shouldn't have to be this anchor. But when you truly love someone and care for them and want to help them, you're willing to do anything. And I think that they would do the same for you. And I feel like they're that kind of person that's like, no, you don't need to stay here. You don't need to help me. You can go. But there's that other part of them that's like, please stay. Whether they'll never admit it. They'll never say that to you because they don't want to burden you. But they appreciate what you do for them more than anything. And what you have here is someone that will be there for you for life. This is somebody that's going to be there for you through anything because you've shown how you'll be there for them. Even when there's nothing you can do to take it away, the ways that you just make them feel grounded by your presence alone, the way that you make them feel loved and cared for in a way that no one else can, it's irreplaceable. So, pile 2, that's everything that I have for you. I feel like I could keep going on and on about how much this person loves you and how grateful they are, but I would just be repeating the same things over and over again, and I think that you already know. So I hope that this brought you clarity if maybe you are afraid, like, they're too deep in the pit and they can't see a way out. You're scared for this person. You're scared for how they're going to be able to move forward. You don't know what to do yourself because it's such a dark place that they're in. What you're able to do right now, the little things that you have been doing, and like I said, even just your presence, it helps more than you know. So keep doing what you're doing, and this connection that the two of you have is really beautiful. You know, it's very rare that people find such a close, such a loving connection in this lifetime. So hold on to it, hold on to them, and know that what they're going through, it's not going to be this bad forever, but you also can't force them to get over it. It might be something that comes back in waves. It might be something that like 10 years from now, they seem like they're doing fine and one day they just break down. Especially with grief, I mean, that's just the way that it is. The life that they lived before, the person that you knew, no longer exists. And now they have to adjust to this new life that they're living without this person that they loved, or without, I don't know, whatever happened that's caused them to be how they are right now. It's an adjustment period. And if you choose to be a part of this person's life, it's an adjustment for you too. And yeah. So pile 2, that's everything that I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that things get better for the both of you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3. If you chose the Angelite, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now I want to start off by saying that I think it's really interesting how these top 3 cards are all purple. I believe purple corresponds to the crown chakra, and so if I had to apply that to like a relationship reading, I would say the two of you might have like a karmic relationship or some sort of energetic or psychic connection. So the way that would manifest is when one person thinks of the other starts thinking of the other, kind of like manifestation energy. Or like you might dream of each other, you might feel like psychically connected, like you understand things that you shouldn't. There's an intuitive link between the two of you. So that might be something that's going on between the two of you. I could also say that it's a very strong magnetic pull that you feel towards each other, especially with the magic card being here. Maybe when you guys met, there was like, maybe like you hit it off right away. Or even if you didn't hit it off right away, there was like this, almost this moment where you felt the two of you being tied together, and now there's like this link, there's this bond, there's this magnetic pull that you can feel like their energy trying to pull you towards them. There's this desire to be closer and like, but what I see here with them is they can't be with you. They can't get closer to you. There are things that they are holding themselves back from, because I see all these cards here, the Chariot reversed, the Knight of Swords reversed, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, are very strong indicators of like, don't go forward, don't pursue, don't take action, don't keep working towards this person. So I think that you and this person have a very strong energetic bond. There's a strong intuitive and psychic bond. You guys think of each other constantly. There's definitely a lot of, I guess passion would be one word for it. Maybe desire, or there's another word that I was searching for, but it's like a magnetic pull. But despite that, this person is fighting it. And to tell you the truth, I think that it stems from they have certain things, certain preconceived notions about the way that things should be. Maybe this relationship is unconventional, or maybe it goes against what they're trying to work towards. I don't know. Maybe they care a lot about their career, and they can't take on a relationship right now. Whatever it is, they're like digging their heels in the sand and not allowing themselves to pursue you. They're not allowing themselves to take action towards you. And so like with the mystery card, I'm almost imagining the two of you are standing there staring at each other, and you're like stuck in this orbit around each other where you can't escape. But at the same time, there's like this refusal to get closer, this refusal to get to know each other. But with the intuition card and the magic card, like when those come up, it tells me that this is a very strong karmic relationship of some kind. People often call these things soulmates or twin flames. I just call it like a karmic connection, some sort of deeper energetic or psychic connection, because I don't want to like label something. It's a general reading, you know? But what I want to say, what I think that they would tell you if they were 100% honest, they feel very strongly for you. I think on a physical level, or, you know, a primal level, they feel a draw to get closer to you. They feel a draw to get to know you better. They want to be around you, but they're fighting those feelings. They're not letting themselves give into those feelings because they have priorities elsewhere. And that's just what the truth of the matter is. It's not out of pettiness that they're like avoiding you. It's not something wrong with you that they're avoiding you. The bottom of the deck energy was the Emperor reversed. And what that makes me think is they have an idea of what their life should look like. They have an idea of what they want to work towards. And when things don't fit in with that, when things disrupt that, or when things go against that, they need to kick those things out of their life. They need to maintain control. They need to continue to work towards their goals. They need to continue to work towards what it is that they want to have in life. And for some reason, you don't fit that mold. And it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's just that you don't fit this person's mold, you know? Maybe it's like relationships in general don't fit this mold. Because the Chariot, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles, it all shows me that there's something that this person is really striving towards. There's a specific goal in mind. Like I said, maybe it's career. Maybe they want their life to look a certain way. Or if it's not a specific goal, maybe, like here's an example. Maybe the both of you are the same gender, and in their family and in the society that they live in, same-sex relationships are really frowned upon. So it's like, it's that kind of vibe. Like they can't entertain this because it goes against the kind of life that they're trying to live. Even though they feel a certain way, even though they feel strongly about you, they want to be closer to you, they're trying to discipline themselves to stay true to what they want out of life. And that's just the way that it is. I'm not going to comment on whether I think that's the right thing that they should be doing or the wrong thing that they should be doing. I'm sure you have your own opinions. But what it comes down to is they are prioritizing their goals and the life that they want to live over certain desires that they have. Doesn't mean the desires aren't there, but they're choosing to stay disciplined and prioritize what they want to prioritize. They're not going to stop, sorry. They're not going to stop the train to like pick up passengers that are going to slow the train down, if you know what I'm saying. I think I could just keep reiterating it and using more analogies, but this is the singular message that I'm getting here, you know? If you've been really confused as to why there's like this strong bond with a certain person, or why there's this strong attraction, and it seems like things should be fine between the two of you, but this person like isn't giving you time to hang out, or they seem to not want to get closer to you, they don't want to get to know you better, but you're like confused, you're like, why am I getting these mixed signals? it's because they're currently in a battle between what they physically desire, what they want right now, and what they want long term, and what they know to be best for them. And I mean, that's as simple as it is. You know, I don't think that there's any more moving parts here, so I feel bad making the reading that short, but it's a pretty concise message. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with you. It's not that they don't like you. This person is just trying to prioritize the kind of life that they want to live. And that's why you're getting these kind of like mixed signals. Like, I feel this strong bond to you. I want to be with you. They seemingly have that same bond towards you, so why isn't it progressing? Why isn't it working out? It's because they have other ideals that they want to work towards. Like I said, maybe it's career, or maybe it's just they don't want a relationship right now, or maybe they don't want this kind of relationship for other reasons, you know? So, pile 3, I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry that it had to be this kind of message, but I always deliver 100% truth. I'm not going to hold things back from you. And I want you to know exactly what their intentions are here, so that you don't have, you know, the wrong expectations for things and you end up getting hurt. So better that you get it here, 100% open and honest, you know, what you can expect to get out of this relationship, so that you don't have false hope and then it all comes crashing down. But nonetheless, I know it's kind of a sucky message to hear, but I hope that it at least gave you the clarity that you needed, and that you can at least take away the closure that, you know, now you understand why things are the way that they are. So, anyways, that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.